Pink power suits, mini purses, and sorority sparkle, the last things anyone expects to see in 1L classroom. So why does Legally Blonde still feel strangely familiar to first-year law students? Probably because the movie is referenced by professors in actual law classrooms.
Hi guys, I'm Reese Jensen.
And I'm Ashley Humphries.
Welcome to Hearsay Anyway, a podcast that aims to simplify the legalese, share the inside scoop on a legal career, and dive into all your legal questions.
Today we're diving into the world of Legally Blonde. How accurate is this film's portrayal of your first year? And exactly how did pop culture iconic Elle Woods inspire many other women and us? Grab a coffee and let's get into it.
Hey, I'm Irina Jensen, office manager and producer of this episode, and I'll be asking today's questions. On our last episode, you both shared your admissions process regarding applications and taking the LSAT. Were there any differences in Elle Woods' admissions process that stood out to you?
I did not submit a video essay. Didn't see that as an option, so mine was just a normal personal statement. It was like 2 pages long. And it was much more boring than hers.
Yeah, I did not have a video.
I don't know how you would even submit a video.
I don't think
At least
you
not
can.
the school.
I want to see someone try.
Oh, that would be so good. Okay, so she studied and she got a 179. That's insane. I studied really hard and I came nowhere close.
That's crazy.
Because a perfect score in the LSAT is a 180.
I can't even describe how incredibly hard. With a practice test, it's not perfect. And so the test scenario makes you score lower, I think, inherently. Which I've heard online discussion about. Maybe that's why Elle did so good. She had so many distractions that on test day she was locked down, and then it's easier.
Well, the other interesting thing is that when she goes to law school and when she gets in, everyone's like, I can't believe you got in. Like, who let you in here? But she went to CULA, which I think is the real world equivalent of UCLA. She was president of her sorority. She was a straight A student and basically a business degree because it was merchandising, like fashion merchandising, which is basically a business degree. She scored really well. She has all of these things that make it, if you heard that on paper about literally anyone else, you'd be like, oh yeah, of course you got it.
Right. I think the movie downplays it for comedy, being like, once she submits the video essay, they get it. There's all these dudes in a room. They see her in a pool and they're like, you're in. She was a straight A student and she was president of a sorority and she had all these things going for her.
It's easy to see the accomplishments of people as not true accomplishments, but they don't fit into what you think a straight A student should look like or what you think a leader should look like. Because leading a sorority versus leading some business club on campus or something.
It does take leadership. Yeah. And it is impressive. I guess for me, a major difference, of course, was that Elle went with certain intentions that maybe like I didn't have.
You weren't chasing the guy that just broke up with you.
But I think a similarity is just how hard she studied for the LSAT. That was a really hard test. What I researched and then what I actually experienced was that LSAT score is like possibly the most important thing I think that most law schools look at. I feel like your personal statement can overcome somewhat a bad LSAT score. But I feel like it was pretty LSAT score heavy. I did study pretty hard, and in the movie I noticed she did take a lot of proctored practice tests. She had her sorority sister be like, okay, that's time. I think that's genuinely a really good way to study. That was kind of like strangely accurate in the movie.
Let's go into some scene breakdowns. There's a moment during Elle's first class where the professor opens up a group discussion. He calls on Elle to answer, and she answers incorrectly, which he humiliates her for. In law school, this is referred to as cold calling. What is the purpose of cold calling, and is it as intense as it seems?
That scene makes cold calling seem really intimidating. And it's true. Cold calling is really intimidating. I don't think the professors are always that mean. I don't know that I've ever had a professor for cold calling that throws you out of class or whatever it is.
I did have one professor.
Oh!
Yeah. Just like not as friendly if you got it wrong. Kind of like reminding you that you need to be prepared. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah. But it always feels that intense. My heart always pounds. I always get really nervous anytime I'm on call or don't know if I'm going to get cold called or not.
No, it is. I mean, I think part of it also is like inherently 1L classes are large. So you literally have a room full of people staring at you. And your brain has to work.
And anytime someone else gets a question wrong, it's never a big deal. And I never think less of them. And I think that goes to the purpose of cold calling, which is to get you used to having to answer those questions. It's specifically, I think, directed at people going to trial because you're getting used to having a judge question you and trying to answer on the spot based on your memory or based on your notes and then get pushback. So typically we'll ask you a question and then you'll answer and ask you another question to try to like poke holes in it or get to something else, and that'll continue for a while.
Right. I do think it definitely motivates you to be prepared, which, 3/4 of the way through the semester, you're thinking about the final exam. Cold Clog is the only way to really encourage you to keep up with your readings and also knowing how to think on the spot. It's just like that feeling, I don't know how to describe. You hear kind of like the first part of your name. And then you're like, oh, it's me. But it is so scary when they do it at the end of class. Or like I had this one professor. He would sit there and look at his list and he'd be like, who is it today? I was like, please spit it out. It's me.
Put me out of my misery.
Literally,
Or we were in a class together where the professor had this app that would like auto
randomize.
It was a randomizer. And you just watch it and then it would select your name and it'd go like,
sometimes it took a little bit longer and you'd be like, or like if you got the same student a few times, you're like, I'm gonna get next. Oh,
yeah.
It's so scary.
Reclaiming Paulette's dog. So Paulette is a manicurist that Elle Woods has befriended during her time at law school. Paulette recruits her to take back her dog from her ex-boyfriend. During this scene, Elle launches into her big legalese speech. How accurate is the language she uses?
I'm going to say this monologue that she gives.
Let's do it.
Are you ready? Okay. As Miss Bonafonte's attorney, I'm here to discuss the legal situation at hand. Do you understand what subject matter jurisdiction is? Well, due to habeas corpus, you and Miss Bonafonte had a common law marriage, which entitles her to what is legally referred to as an equitable division of the assets. Due to the fact that you retained this residence, Miss Bonafonte is entitled to full canine property ownership, and we will be enforcing said ownership right now.
There's lots of unpack there.
Okay, so this scene I had played for me in my ethics class this last year because it was actually a pretty big ethical violation because she was not
An
actually,
attorney.
you can't hold yourself out as an attorney if you're not actually an attorney.
Right. I think that's the first violation. And then what she says too is just some of it is kind of crazy.
It's just so many buzzwords that you do learn in 1L that like she would know, but like they're
Right.
all like none of it makes sense. Like she's using this legal jargon because she knows that this guy does not know what any of it means, just trying to intimidate him.
Which is perfect for the scene. I mean, it's awesome. And that scene is so iconic too. For so many reasons. I just think it's funny because I feel like she touches on all of the 1L court.
No, she's got subject matter jurisdiction, which you learn in civil procedure. She's talking about
got
like
property
property
law.
ownership. Yeah.
Right.
She also talks about habeas corpus.
Civil procedure. What is
The habeas corpus is where if you think you're falsely imprisoned, you can challenge that.
Right. Doesn't it mean like to have the body or something in Latin?
maybe.
I think that's what it means
Oh,
in Latin.
look
So
at
I'm
you.
like, I just don't understand. There's nothing to do with habeas corpus right there. Genuinely nothing.
So, okay, I've got a question for you because they're talking about this ownership of this dog and this like supposed common law marriage. How, as someone who's sort of in the family law space, how would that actually be handled?
I thought it was kind of fascinating that she does say that the dog is property, because that is how dogs are viewed in Colorado, is as property. And had she said something like, well, she has full custody of the dog, that would be completely just movie magic and not reality at all. I know, though, how they see it in Massachusetts. I know that's Colorado law. I do also think that it was just kind of funny that she says, because you've maintained the residence, she gets the dog. And then she refers to an equitable division of assets. That's not completely outside the realm of anything when it comes to common law marriage. But then also the fact that a dog would be worth as much as the house is kind of humorous.
But I mean, it worked.
It's also funny just with Colorado law, it made me think of this change to Colorado law that's super recent, where the courts are now going to consider what's in the dog's best interest.
If two people are getting divorced and they're arguing over the dog.
Right. Isn't that kind of interesting?
How does one do that?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm really not sure. Who has more peanut butter in the fridge?
Who does the dog love more?
Not sure, but that scene is hilarious.
The last scenes I wanted to go into, and kind of the climax of the film, is how Elle Woods and some other classmates are brought on to a high-profile murder case, and Elle Woods ends up representing their client in court. How realistic would it be for a 1L to appear in court and also do this kind of work on a case?
Well, I think it's just in general pretty comical. Just the idea that 1L in your second semester, there's no way on a murder trial that would be happening, especially she's cross-examining witnesses. Like,
Yeah.
think about how crazy that is.
No.
I mean, it feels like a big deal for maybe like mock trial, But then you think like a real murder trial, like someone might really go to prison for a very long time. It's crazy to think. It's just kind of comical.
Well, at our law school, they don't even let you do any kind of legal work while you're in your first year. You just can't have a job in the legal field.
I feel like you don't know enough. I mean, in my first year of law school, I did not know anything about the law. Like, you go in and you have to learn everything. I just had no basis, really.
No, you don't know enough. And when you are, I believe, in your third year of law school, you can do some client work. It's obviously highly supervised, but the thought that someone in their first year of law school would be essentially representing someone before the court for a murder trial is just totally something that would happen.
It's kind of crazy. And then she wins the case, of course, and she's getting interviewed. She's not even an attorney on that case. She's not barred. It's probably an ethical violation, I think.
I think it violates a lot of ethical rules.
But it makes a really good movie.
This was another scene, too, that was shown in, I believe it was my criminal law class, where she's beginning this sort of monologue before the court, and she's sort of like rambling, and she's talking about mens rea, and the professor played that for us because he was like, she actually did a good explanation of what mens rea is.
I mean, this movie, all of the legal terms used in there were kind of my first exposure to any of those legal terms. It's not all fake, the movie.
No.
It's got some really good tidbits.
A big takeaway from her experience doing that prestigious internship and representing that client that is real world is that even if you don't have enough experience, you can still have the drive to work hard and learn for your client. You can also still have the good idea. She's the one that came up with the idea about how to save her client. And so you can still have that original thinking as someone who's brand new to it. You kind of can come at it with this new perspective like Elle Woods did.
And that is something that's valuable. Every wave of attorneys that's come out of law school, you bring with you your individual knowledge. In that case, it was more to do with hair knowledge, which is pretty niche, but perms are important too.
Overall, how has Legally Blonde and Elle Woods' experiences resonate with your own?
I think the general idea that she's sort of this fish out of water, thrown into this new situation where she doesn't know anything, eventually learns how to study, finds her friends, finds her study group. I think that resonates with me because I also felt like a fish out of water and slowly have figured out how all of that works for myself.
I think I could agree with that. You go into law school knowing so little, knowing even so few people, that it's hard to kind of grasp where you are, what you're doing, and really all of the women are together in their confusion. And then just how much she's sitting on her floor reading. That's exactly how I study. And so I could really see myself in that, just sitting on the floor of my bedroom reading with my little cat next to me, just like Bruiser,
Luckily, we don't have any Vivians preying on our downfall.
No, I don't think we do.
Or professors kicking us out of class.
No, I didn't get kicked out of class. Yeah, that would have actually scared me. Well, I learned a lot today.
Me too.
I thought that was a really fun discussion. Talking about Legally Blonde is always a good time.
I'll talk about Elle Woods any day.
Oh, any day. And to our listeners, I hope you learned more about what law school is really like. Certainly what your 1L year might be like if you're considering law school. If you're a current attorney, I hope that your experience can resonate. Thank you so much for listening to Hearsay Anyway. Stay tuned for more.